I would be based out of one of those cities, and I would launch out of there and do archaeology. That would be awesome. That would be my dream job, to work for maybe an archaeological institute and be fully funded by one of those, wealthy benefactors, and write and do research and explore the ancient world. And the other thing too I like about the one thing that I want to bring that many archaeologists are doing is to really bring in technology into the study of archaeology, and that's being done today all over the world. The cool thing about living right here in Chicago, near the Oriental Institute at the University of Chicago, they are one of the top research institutes in the world in archaeology, hands down. And I've gotten to benefit from learning just from being around here and listening to lectures and having close access to the archaeologist. One of the things I learned about last year from Dr. James Osborne is something called RTI, which stands for Reflectance Transformation Imaging, or RTI.
Is that like the 3D scan that they're doing?
Yes, the 3D scan. And he gave a lecture on this. And what it is I'm going to pull up something here. This is actually a coaster you put like a drink on, but can you see the pattern in that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you were to take a photograph of this, what it can do is it can take a three-dimensional image of this, and then what it does is you have a light around it, and then you can rotate the light, and then you can basically maneuver the image in a computer screen. So when you have an engraving, such as on a piece of pottery or wherever, you can actually study that engraving in a very, very high level of detail. And they use this in a lot of applications. And I just posted an article in Epic Archaeology today about this archaeologist, Raim's. I met Raim, I think is his name, and he's an archaeologist in Jerusalem. And they were studying these crosses that were engraved in the Church of the Holy Sepulcher. And for many years, they had believed that these crosses were engraved by pilgrims going to the Church of the Holy Sepulcher. The Church of the Holy Sepulcher is where what we believe to be the empty tomb of Christ is. And so in the Middle Ages, when medieval knights and Christian pilgrims would go to the Church of the Holy Sepulcher, we believe that this was graffiti. They were basically carving these crosses. And so
using human nature not changing.
Exactly. But what they've discovered using this RTI method of these crosses is that this archaeologist used the RTI method. He discovered that they are actually engraved by very likely one or two people. So there's a common, like you can see a pattern to it. So if it was just lots of people throughout time, it would be very, very different. But they're very, very uniform, which means that it very likely came from one or two Masons, which means that the implication is that likely Christian pilgrims are paying money to have these crosses engraved on the Church of the Holy Sepulcher. So another example of how technology can really help illuminate some of the discoveries that we see in archaeology.
I was thinking you were going to tell me of some ancient Christian gang, like putting their little graffiti signs on the wall.
Exactly. Yeah. Gang member sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So, like I said, I want to be able to support what other people are doing in the kingdom. I want, those ministries to grow. That's kind of like how I'm viewing my ministry is like, hey, let's shed light on what other people are doing and connect everybody so that way the kingdom will benefit from it. So if people want to find Ted Wright and Epic Archaeology, how can they find him on social media and online?
Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm very grateful. So people can check our website out. It's epicarchaeology.org, O-R-G. We're also on Facebook. Just look in the search engine for Epic Archaeology Facebook page, and we're on there. We post a lot of stuff on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, and we're also on Twitter as well. And if people will have a question for me personally, my email is ted@epicarchaeology.org. Epicarchaeology.org, and they can email me with any questions they have. We also do, I've done some stuff in the past 2 months. I've done some stuff for schools. So I've had several schools reach out to me, and I've done assemblies. They had all the students gathered. We did a whole seminar on the archaeology of the conquest. And then I did a thing for a school in Texas on Pompeii. So we do stuff for schools, stuff for churches. We speak at conferences. We can speak at your church. We can do Zoom talks or lectures or whatever people want. So please contact me if you want me to speak at your church or school or whatever, and I'll be glad to work something